always on side.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode in the love, sex and relationships series. So I've realized that I haven't been posting videos because the videos that I wanted to film, I haven't been able to film them because I wanted to film them with other people, and trying to work around different people's schedules and my schedule and trying to find time to film with other people is actually quite difficult. So shout out to all the people that do 1,000,001 collabs. But I thought that I would do a Q&A, but not just a regular Q&A, because I did say that I was going to do another Q&A for you guys in March. But I thought, do you know what, let me not do a regular Q&A. How about I actually do a Q&A that's focused, solely focused on the series on love, sex and relationships. So the first thing that I do want to say is that yes, I'm wearing a hat. I don't know why, I just wanted to. I felt like it went with my look today, so I'm wearing a hat. Secondly, I'm not wearing any makeup, only because basically my eye has been really irritated and it's been watering the past couple of days, and because I've been like constantly touching it, my under eye is a little bit red at the moment and it looked a bit puffy this morning. So I was just like, do you know what, let me just leave it alone, not put on any makeup or anything, and just let it breathe. So I'm filming this video with no makeup. But anyway, so I asked you guys on Snapchat to ask me questions, and of course, cue the sirens. Yeah, let's just get straight into it because I don't want to waste any time. I asked you guys on Snapchat to send me questions for the Q&A, so let's see some of the stuff that you guys have got for me. I'm a little bit nervous because, you know, people on social media are crazy, so I'm scared. I haven't opened any of the questions. I'm scared to find out exactly what the questions will be. This is why I get scared, guys, because y'all send some long ass paragraphs. Jesus. All right, well, I guess this is what I asked for. So, hi Nissy, I'm 19 years old and have been sexually active for the past 2 years. My ex and I were in love and thought we'd get married, so didn't wait till marriage, but things went left and we broke up over a year ago after a year of dating. Halfway through the relationship, I had been wanting to be celibate in order to get closer to God, but things had gone so left in the relationship I'd become fearful of discussing the matter with my then boyfriend, so it was no surprise we broke up. However, after the breakup, I became so heartbroken and thought if he couldn't respect me then, what point was there in respecting myself? Obviously that was dumb talk, but at the time I was in a bad place. So I went on a bit of a wild one, as you do. However, every time I wanted to take celibacy seriously, temptation would arise and I'd fail. I know what to take. I think you're meant to say I now want to take it seriously and have been able to abstain for some time, but I'm still dating and fear that I will act upon any lustful desires that occur. What advice would you give not only myself but to others in similar situations? I know you have been celibate but dating for some time. Also, please keep me in your prayers as I genuinely believe this is the biggest obstacle in my walk to getting closer with God. PS, can you keep me anonymous? Of course. I'm gonna keep I think all of these anonymous just because of the nature of the topics that we're talking about. Just in case, you know, someone didn't specify please keep me anonymous but wants to stay anonymous. Anyway, so the first thing that I will say is, listen, I completely understand your struggle. It is difficult moving and transitioning you know, from that space where you were doing whatever you wanted and then you decided that you were going to be celibate. Is very, very difficult. It's a big jump, it's a big move. Trust me, you need, obviously if you're doing it for other purposes, some people do it for faith basis, some people just do it because they just feel like they just want, you know, to keep themselves to themselves and whatever it is. You know, obviously if you're doing it because of a faith, if you're doing it because of your faith, you need to confide in God even more, which means certain things have to go up. Prayer life has to go up, praise and worship has to go up, reading the word has to go up, literally, because you're gonna be tempted so much and the enemy is gonna try and throw as many things your way as possible. And you as well, you can be an enemy to yourself, because you will put yourself in certain situations that you know you shouldn't be putting yourself in, and you know that they're going to lead to temptation, all that kind of stuff. If you're not careful, you're going to end up putting yourself in certain situations. So you have to be guarded, like you have to be on fire for God. And at the bottom you kind of said that that's the one thing that's kind of holding you back from reaching an even deeper level with God. If you know it's holding you back that much, listen honey, you need to give it to the cross, you need to give it to God, and you need to truly ask for his strength, ask for him to strengthen you, and ask for him to give you a desire to constantly want to be in his presence, so that even when these temptations and stuff come, they're almost deterred, because you're like, hell no, my eyes are fixed on Jesus, I ain't gonna focus on those things. So yeah, it's definitely easier said than done, but that's just some advice that I would give, and advice that I even give to myself as well, because I'm still learning, I still get things wrong. It's not easy, it's not easy at all, but trust me, it's possible. Believe me, it is very, very possible to do. But you just have to make sure your mind is right, because a lot of it is just a matter of the mind. It's kind of like going on a diet. A lot of people will say that they want to go on a diet, but when they see chocolate in front of them, or they see crisps or whatever it is in front of them, they give in. And a lot of the time it's because the mind, you haven't programmed and trained your mind to focus on something other than the fact that you shouldn't be eating that particular thing. So that's what I would say. And just don't put yourself in dumb situations. Flee, 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 flee. So I hope that kind of answers your question. I'm assuming that we're gonna get loads of questions like this. Is it all right to still be a virgin in your 20s? People actually laugh at me for still being a virgin. Hell yes, it is all right. Listen, it is all right to be a virgin until you're 30, 40, 50, 60, however old you want to be. The fact that people laugh at you, listen, people are crazy in this world. People will make it seem that the only way to be cool, or the only way to be interesting, or the only way to show that you're a normal person is by doing certain things, and one of them is by having sex. Like, it makes no sense. Listen to me, it is so dope that you are, like, it is so dope, it is a beautiful thing. Listen, I've said it in some of my other previous videos, you are a precious jewel, and the fact that you've kept yourself to yourself, and you're kind of like looking at people like, you can't get none of this because I'm too precious, I ain't just gonna let anybody come and get none of this. That is an amazing thing, and you should be very, very proud of yourself, and don't let anybody look down on you because of it. If they do, that's their problem, not yours. How do you not fall into the trap that modern day dating is so used to? Talking for like 5 minutes, then ghosting. I want something serious. I feel like if I let that be known, I'll look thirsty. Hell no. Let me tell you guys a little mini story, okay? When me and Ben first were like on the verge of getting together, I made it very, very clear to him exactly what I wanted, and I wasn't thinking about, oh, it's gonna scare him off, oh, he's not gonna like me, oh this, oh that. I'm so sorry, I didn't have the time nor the energy. I was in my final year of university. I just wanted to focus on I was so focused on doing me. I was doing uni, I was doing all the other things that I was doing, and he kind of came along like unexpectedly. But I had to let him know. I had to let him know that in my life right now, I am so focused and so determined. I've got things that I'm trying to do and I'm trying to achieve. I do not have time for time wasters. So if there's something in particular that you want, I'm not saying go to him and literally sit him down and be like, so you need to do this and this and this and this and this. That obviously might scare him off just a little bit. I'm just saying, you know, be very, very clear with what you want. There is nothing wrong, especially as a woman, I'm not saying pursue the man, because I personally don't believe in women pursuing men. Like, I personally think that that's what the man is supposed to do, but it doesn't mean that you can't set your standard and you can't make it very, very clear what you want. Obviously, whether or not he acts upon what you want, then that's up to him, but you can make it very, very clear. You can make it clear what you do want, what you don't want. You want something serious, you make it very clear from the beginning. I feel like that's how a lot of us get involved in situationships, because we don't make it clear. We don't say, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, if you can't provide this, keep it moving. That's how a lot of it happens. And obviously we know that some people, even after you've told them, they still like to play games and all that kind of stuff. We can't help that reaction, but you can help what you say and what you do from the beginning. So yeah, modern day dating really is kind of like 5-minute thing. You date, oh, things are good, and then you just break up and then you're on to the next one. It feels like things don't last, but trust me, things do. It is possible. You just have to find the right person and be patient as well. Don't try and just jump into everything and be like, this is the one. Analyze the situation, be patient, and then if you feel like, okay, cool, this guy, we're kind of on the same wavelength, let him know what you want. How to stay motivated when, as a young 19-year-old girl, trying to be complete before settling for boys. Overall, how to stay motivated to keep working on myself. And you know what, I really like that question, because as I was reading it, I was like, this is a question about motivation. What has that got to do with love or sex or relationships? But you know, the fact that you're talking about how to stay motivated and keep yourself to yourself, that is an aspect of self-love and self-care. So that is very, very, very important. I just think, you know, especially when you're like 19, 20, you know, of course I've dated and I've done all that kind of stuff as well, but I feel like there's such a precious moment, and you literally just as much as you've messaged me saying, how do I stay motivated and focus on myself, you need to literally just say to yourself, okay, right now I am not going to get involved with anyone because I just want to do me. And you need to again make a decision within your own heart and your own mind to be like, this is me time, this is me, you know, spending time with myself, focusing on doing me and making sure you execute that. Obviously there might be people that try to weasel their way in and try to talk to you, but if you literally do not feel ready to be in any sort of relationship with anyone, make that decision and make your barriers and your boundaries very clear with the people around you, especially those that want to date you. But I think it's an amazing thing if, you know, you're 19 years old and you're just focused on doing you, because a lot of the times we get to like 18, 19, we're like, oh, I want to bathe, I want to boot, I want to get married, I want a ring, I want this. Like it's quite crazy. And obviously I'm like older now, and looking back I'm kind of like, oh rah, it's not that deep, it's never that deep. So you're on the right track so far. Just focus on doing you, okay, and make a decision and make it very clear to the people that try to come to you. Hey Nissy, huge fan, please do keep me anonymous. I'm a uni student and I'm the only virgin amongst my friends. I feel like guys don't want to be with virgins anymore. Is that true? False. Listen, while social media and people try to make this such a big massive deal, like, oh, either, and it goes both ways, you know, either guys are crying about, oh, I want my wife to be a virgin, okay, or there'll be other people that then start screaming, no, I want my wife to be experienced, and at the end of the day, everyone has their own opinion and their different preference as to what they want and what they look for. And in fact, that is really bad of me, because this is how you know we've been conditioned to only associate virginity to women, because it should be men too. So I'm gonna say that all again, okay? There is an obsession on both sides with whether or not people are virgins or not. Listen, yeah, let me just say one thing, okay? It's not true. There are going to be some people out there who are like, oh my gosh, yes, it's an amazing thing, I'd love for my wife, my partner, whoever it is, or my boyfriend or whatever, to be a virgin. Some people are on that side. Other people just don't. They want someone with experience that knows how to do all sorts of whatever, and that's what they want. They want someone packaged and ready. Listen, at the end of the day, there is always somebody that will like you for you. Just don't be concerned about that. That's my actual advice for that. Do not be concerned about that. Just be concerned about what you want to do. And if you feel like you want to wait until the day they put that ring on that finger and until you marry, girl, honey, that is a beautiful thing, and don't let anyone tell you any different. So I've been talking to this guy for a while now. He's a kind, loving and God-fearing. He's everything I've ever wished for in a guy, but I'm scared to get in a relationship because of my past experiences and the way I've been hurt. Do you know what's really interesting about pain and hurt and all that kind of stuff is the fact that it creates these false stories and it creates these false perceptions. So a lot of us, obviously I've been hurt before on numerous occasions. Trust me, I've had the definition of men are trash in my life. Trust me, I've had it. But it's very, very important for you to understand a couple of things. One thing, that people are flawed, okay? Now, this is not an excuse for people to go and do absolute rubbish. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm just saying it to kind of say, like, people are flawed, and those flaws shouldn't stop you from still having either a good heart, or from loving people, or wanting to try out love. It shouldn't stop you from doing that. I feel like the moment you kind of accept that people are rubbish and that there will be some people that do you wrong, is the moment that you will cool. When someone has hurt you, you might cry, you might eat ice cream for a week, but then after a while you'll just kind of let it go, and you won't let that taint your view of love. Because while there are loads of stinky people in the world, there are also a lot of great people in the world, beautiful people who love and who care and who will love and protect and cherish you. So you definitely shouldn't let your past experiences determine how you're going to view the future, especially if, you know, it seems like you found somebody who shows you everything that who treats you the way that you should be treated. Of course, learn from the things that have happened, learn the lessons, don't make the same mistakes again, but don't, you know, stop yourself from potentially going into something so beautiful because of the things that you experienced before. You've got to let that stuff go. And if you feel like you're still hurt and you're not able to let that stuff go just yet, you need to really think about whether or not you're actually ready to move forward and be in a relationship. Then of course, if that person is for you, then what will be will be. It will happen. My question is, when and where did you and your babe meet, and what qualities did you see in him that attracted you to him? That's a good question. We met, so I'll tell you when. I'm not gonna tell you the full story, only because the story is gonna come, guys. I'm so sorry. I know it's been like a year and a half. The full story will come when I'm ready. You know, you have to do things in your own time. So but I'll tell you when we met. We met about 4 years ago when I was ACS president and he was ACS president of his university. ACS, by the way, is the African Caribbean Society, a society at most universities that brings people of African Caribbean descent or origin together, and you know, we have events and we have loads of different types of things. And I was the president of mine at Cambridge, and he was the president of his at Portsmouth University. And they, like, this organization basically put on an event for all the ACS presidents to come together, and that's where we met. And yeah, the rest of the story you'll find out another time. In terms of what qualities did I see in him that attracted me to him, oh my goodness, so many things. Okay, so first of all, the fact that he was God-fearing, like, that number one to me was just, obviously you guys know that's very important to me, so that to me was just like, oh my goodness. And he wasn't just God-fearing like, oh yeah, you believe in God, okay. No, as in he was somebody that was actively pursuing God and actively seeking out a relationship and working out his faith in God. Do you know what I mean? So that attracted me. The fact that he was kind, the fact that he was really close with his family. Like, for me, being close with your family is so important. Just because I'm really close to mine, me and my family are really, really close, and it would be scary for me if I found somebody that was like really detached from their family. I don't know, for me that's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, just that's just personal for me. Nah. So the fact that he was really close with his family, the fact that he was caring, yes, anyway, so yeah, the fact that he was caring, he was kind, the fact that he was intelligent, that for me is another big one, because if I feel like you can't like stimulate me mentally, it's such a big problem. And what other qualities? Just literally just so many things. Just his heart. He has such a beautiful heart, a kind spirit. He cares for people, he loves people, he you know, encourages people, he motivates people. Oh, and another quality that I would say was so important and I love so much was the fact that he encourages me in the things that I do. Like, he is so supportive of the things that I do. He just lets me shine, and I love that, and that's a beautiful quality for a man to have. So yeah, those are, listen, I could go on and on and on about him. I'm gonna move on to the next question. Okay, hi Nissy, my question is, should one wait for marriage until sex, or is that an overrated ancient belief? It is certainly not an overrated ancient belief. Feel free to wait. Don't let anybody make you feel like, oh, that is so outdated. Oh my gosh, like, why do you even still believe in that? Celibacy? What the hell is that? Virginity? What the hell is that? Don't let anyone tell you that. I know we're in a time where people, you know, glamorize and glorify, like sex as this amazing, great thing that everyone should go out and do. Listen, you don't need to do it, okay? Like, if that's the decision that you've made and you're doing your own thing and you're getting it in, listen, that's your business. But don't think that if you're not doing that you're missing out on something, or that you're not as cool, or that you're not whatever. Listen, do you. Everyone's path is completely different, okay? I'm gonna try and get through these questions really quick, so excuse me if the answers become shorter. So if people don't have if people don't have sex before marriage, what does one do if on your honeymoon you find your husband's D game is weak and you can't cope? I just had a chat with a friend, and this bit would be nice to hear your opinion. People always ask me this. They always ask me this. But you know, you have to test out a car before you buy it. You have to taste the milk before you buy the cow. You have to, but what happens if the D game isn't strong? Listen, at the end of the day, you have your whole marriage to work that out. People make it seem like sex is a one-time thing, like you have it one moment and oh my gosh, if it's rubbish, you're never gonna have it ever again. No, at the end of the day, you're gonna be having it throughout your entire marriage, and that's why you are two people who come together as one, because guess what? You're gonna learn. You know, even when you know, people have partners now and they start having sex now, you think that the sex automatically was amazing from the beginning. No, it wasn't. They probably had a bit of an awkward moment. Even if they're both experienced, maybe them two together, there was that awkward moment initially, and then after a while each person learns about what they like, what they don't like, and the partners will cater to those things. So for me, that's not an excuse. I don't when people say that to me, I'm just like, what does that even mean about, you know, but what if you work out on your honeymoon that his game is whack? His game will improve. You gotta tell him, listen, I don't like it that way, so we gotta do things in a different way. Is that simple. And yes, it might not be phenomenal, fantastic, great right at the beginning, but you're in a marriage, you're in a partnership, you've made a commitment before the eyes of God, and so you're gonna stay in that commitment and you're gonna work through it. It's just, yeah, it's not that deep, guys. Like, it really is not that deep. You're gonna learn. You've got your whole marriage to practice, so just wait. There's no problem in waiting. How to get over an ex-lover and how to be more confident in our academic studies. So I have a whole video on how to get over wait, is it a video? Oh no, that video is on how to deal with like heartbreak. I feel like a lot of the stuff in there is relevant for anyone who's just trying to get over their ex, because heartbreak, you know, often is associated with issues that haven't yet been resolved in your own heart. Still thinking about your ex and still having to deal with that issues that you haven't dealt with in your heart, same difference. So I will link it in the description box below. Make sure you check it out. But everything that you need is there to get over an ex or to get over a broken heart, believe me. And how to be more confident in your academic studies. There's so many different ways of doing this, but the one principle that I would say is work your butt off. No one can ask you to do more than your best, than to try your best, okay? So you got to work your butt off, be confident in the fact that you've worked hard, and just try your best. I know it sounds very cliche, but it's the truth. No one can ask you for anything more than that. And you know, the moment that you know that you've put in effort and you've worked really hard, the hardest that you could possibly work, you're going to be confident in your academic progress anyway, because that's the best that you can do, and that should give you confidence. So yeah, that's one piece of advice that I would give for anyone that's lacking a bit of confidence in what they do. Just work your best and just do it. Just get on with it, put your head down, and just try your best. That's all anyone can ask. I've been with this boy for nearly 2 years and I'm 16, and he's my first relationship, love, vice versa. But he's agreed to be celibate with me until I'm 19. But personally, I want to wait till marriage because I'm a Christian, but he doesn't want to wait till marriage. I don't know what to do because it's not like he's using me, because we've been together for over 4 years. Oh, we would have been together over 4 years by that point. Can you advise me on what to do, please? Anonymous, please, of course. First of all, honey, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna say this very like, I'm just gonna say it to you, okay? If he's not willing to wait, he's not for you. That's point blank, period. And vice versa, if you are a male and you have decided to tell your partner that, listen, I want to wait, and they are not willing to wait, then that's already a problem. So now that you are in this situation, I would suggest that you have a conversation with him, that you sit down and you tell him, like, listen, this is my faith, this is what I believe, and I want to wait until I'm married. If he says no, I'm so sorry honey, but what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose your belief and what you believe in God, or are you going to choose a guy? It literally boils down to that. It's that simple. Obviously it may be difficult because you might not he might not say what you want to hear, and it might hurt you, and you know, at the end of the day, he's a human being, and for him, if he hasn't made that decision to be celibate, you can't force him to be celibate. So maybe he will feel like, okay, no, I need to go elsewhere because, you know, I can't stay with you at the end of the day. That's just the reality. So you need to really consider the different outcomes and different circumstances. But also, who knows, he might actually turn around and be like, do you know what, no problem, we're in this together, we're gonna do it together. Who knows? But I just feel like if you have to compromise something like that, especially if you feel like you've been convicted by God, and you have to compromise something like that for somebody else, there's already something wrong in that situation, in that circumstance. So I would just say, you know, take a step back, speak to him, have a conversation, see what his reaction is, and honey, if you've got to let it go, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Faith comes before flesh. It just is where it is. Hey Nissy, do you think vacation can sometimes be tempting if you're celibate? And also, why is it necessary? Is that not the whole point of a honeymoon? That is such a good question. So I definitely think that vacations can bring elements of temptation. It depends on what you do, and it depends on a couple of things. One being, some people do vacations and some people have separate beds. Some people do vacations and some people have separate rooms. Some people do have vacations and they sleep in the same bed. Now, when it comes to like relationships and all that kind of stuff, this is something that I believe, again, is very, very personal. It's between you and that person. If you, however, have decided to be celibate, you cannot ignore the fact that there may be some temptation there. There may be some feeling and desire and want, because obviously you're on holiday, you're in the sunshine, you know, you're feeling good, and you know, maybe like that's the only time that you're gonna get to like snuggle up in bed and stuff like that, and one thing can lead to the other. So yes, we can't be ignorant, and I'm not gonna pretend and be like, oh no, you know, that doesn't bring any form of temptation. Listen, it does. It just depends. I think it also just depends on you and whether or not you feel like vacations are okay. If you feel like a vacation is off limit, then boy, do not do it. If you feel like, nah, this doesn't make sense to me, a vacation wouldn't make sense, don't do it, okay? Just leave it out. Or if you even know, or you feel like, do you know what, there's too much, you know, chemistry going on right now, and I know that if we even get the chance to be alone in a bed, things might go left. If you know that's you, just be honest with yourself, and maybe a vacation is not for you, okay? I think it just depends on what stage you are at and where you are at with that person as well. Whether or not you believe it's right or wrong, that's down to your own, opinion. And in terms of you know, the last bit that you said, is that not the whole point of the honeymoon? Well, the point of the honeymoon is for you to get it in, so it depends on what you're doing on that vacation. You could literally go on that vacation and you don't get it in, you literally are just sharing a bed. But honeymoon, I know for sure that they ain't gonna be no sharing. Honeymoon is gonna be we getting down. That's how my honeymoon's gonna be. Don't know about y'all. So I'm only gonna do a couple more because this video is super long, and I'm so sorry, there are so many questions, I won't be able to get through all of them. But I do suggest to you that you grab tickets for my meet and greet that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, because these are the type of questions that we are going to be taking on, okay? There is going to be a Q&A panel where we're going to be just discussing everything and anything, and it's going to go from all of this stuff, from love, sex, relationships, to just goals, achievements, motivation, all of that stuff. We're just going to be talking about it all, so make sure you come down. And this is just going to be raw, uncensored, just plain me, okay? You're just fully gonna get me. And so yeah, make sure you grab a ticket, because this is the kind of stuff. And those that I couldn't get through your questions today, come to the event, come to the meet and greet, and we'll get through those questions there. Oh, well, someone did ask me actually, what is your take on having sex before marriage? So I'm guessing that they haven't seen some of my other videos. So basically, I'm a Christian, and you know, my life decisions are based upon biblical context, and they're based upon my faith and my walk with God. I've explained in previous videos before that I that while I have had some form of relationship with God, I have been wayward, I have done stupid things, I've done things that I'm not proud of. I wouldn't say regret, I don't like the term regret, because everything that I have done or everything that's happened in my past has made me the woman that I am today. So I definitely don't regret anything, but I've definitely done some things that I look back on and I'm like, girl, are you serious? But you know, they're lessons, they're things that happen, you live, you learn, and you just have to keep moving forward. I do believe that it is something sacred and that it should happen within the context of marriage. Of course, with myself, with my wayward ways, that didn't necessarily happen, but I am currently practicing celibacy and I think it's a beautiful and amazing thing. Me and my partner are practicing celibacy. It is hard, it's difficult, there are temptations, it hasn't been a straight path. There's been moments where I've slipped, there's been moments where I've backtracked and done some stupid things, but I feel like I'm in such a place in my faith right now where I'm not letting anything compromise my relationship with God. Like, there's no way I'm not letting anything compromise my relationship with God. My focus is God, my focus, ooh, my hat just moved. My focus is Jesus, and that is it. So yeah, that's basically like a little mini version of what I believe and what I think. You know, at the end of the day, I do believe that sex should be within marriage, because there's so many different levels to it. People just see it as like, oh, whatever, you know, just off pants and whatever. No, it's something it's deeply intimate. I do believe in soul ties. I do believe that you connect with someone on a spiritual level, an emotional level. You like when you're intimate with someone in that way, you connect in so many different levels beyond just what you see. And I think that type of connection should happen in marriage. It should happen between two people who are ready to make that commitment for life, because there's so much that comes with it. But that is just my viewpoint. And the one thing that I also advocate also is for people not to feel condemned. You know, in the Bible, Jesus speaks about that in Christ there is no condemnation. You know, you are a new creation, behold the new has come. At the end of the day, when you give your life to Christ and when you believe in him, yes, you will have times when you slip and you fall, but we are working out our faith, and we are working daily to, you know, to live for God and to kill our flesh daily so that we can live in Christ and for God. And at the end of the day, if you've gone a bit sideways and things have gone left for you, listen, there's no point beating yourself up. Don't let the enemy shame you and make you feel like you are the worst person on the planet, but how can I even practice celibacy anyway, like, you know, I can't give up on this and blah 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 blah. Like, don't, trust me, God can work in you, God can change so much in you. He can renew your heart, renew your mind, and it's important that you don't stop yourself. Even if you were like literally the thought of all thoughts and you were the holes of all holes, like, listen, Jesus still loves you, God still loves you. He just wants to see that you really love him and that you really want to seek him. That's what he wants from you. He just wants to know that you have a desire and a passion to seek him. And so even if you're the hoe of all hoes and you are like, I want to change my life around and I don't want to do that anymore and I want to follow Jesus, do it. Like, literally do it. Like, it doesn't matter. Your past is your past. It is what it is. You went through those things, you made some dumb decisions. It's cool. Like, let go of the baggage and let God transform you and move forward and move on. And some people might even be like, oh, swear down, you're sanctified and saved, yeah? Well, these times I know exactly what you were doing. Well, guess what? That's their business. When Christ already is saying that he's not going to condemn you, they can do whatever they want because they're irrelevant. That's how I see it and that's how I perceive it. So yeah, I just went on a bit of a left rant. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me go back and answer one more question. Does time really heal heartache with no means of communication? Will there be a time I no longer think about or feel anything towards my ex who cheated? Oh, my honey bunny, sounds like you're still going through it at the moment. Listen, time really is a healer. Believe me, I had times in my life when I was crying, devastated, heartbroken, like, how could people do this to me? How could this happen? But let me tell you right now, honey, trust me, you will look back in a couple of years time and you'll be like, damn girl, what the hell was I even crying about? Time really is a healer. Be patient with yourself though. Give yourself time to hurt and to still go through it. Like, don't feel like you should just push it to one side. Go through whatever it is that you're going through. It's okay. You're gonna get through it, my love, I promise you. And you're gonna come out the other end stronger and better and wiser, which is the most important part. Wiser. That is it. I'm so sorry I didn't get to answer all of your questions. There's still so many questions, guys. I'm so sorry, but like I said, grab a ticket to the meet and greet and we can talk about this kind of stuff in even more depth. But I hope that you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. But yeah, I love you guys so very much. Thank you so much always for supporting my stuff, for subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe below. Make sure you click that button, support your girl. I want to put out some new content as well, but there's so many things going on, I can't even lie to you guys right now. But anyway, I'll see you guys again in my next video. Stay beautiful.
Dimmer, but the flame still blue. Fire in your eyes, this is all so true. Just know I love ya.